may say something that's inspiring. Thank you. So this morning we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8. Lord Krishna shows the universal form. That text 40.
Yes,
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Devim Saraswati Vyasam
Tato Jamudirayat Nastavaisya Bhadresu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevya
Bhagavata Uttamasloke
Bhagavati Uttamasloke
Bhaktir Bhavstinastike
Bhaktir Bhavinastike
Kim Svapna Etat Uta Deva Maya
Kim Svapna Etat
Uta Deva Maya
Kim Svapna Etat Uta Deva Maya
Kim Svapna Etat
Uta Deva Maya
Kim Vamadyo Bata Buddhi Moha
Kimba Mandiyo Bata Buddhi Moha
Ato Amusheva Mama Pakasya
Ato Amusyeva Mamarbakasya
Yakashanotpatika Atmayoga
Yakashchanotpatika Atma Yoga
Kim Sapna Etat Uta Deva Maya
Kim Svapnaitat Uta Deva Maya
Kim Vamadyo Bata Buddhi Ato Amusheva Mama Pakasya
To Amusyeva Mamarbakasya Yakashchanotpatika Atma Yoga Kim Svapnaitat Uta Deva Maya Kim Bhavadiyo Bata Yudiyo Ato Amusyeva Mamarbakasya Yakashchanotpatika Atma Yoga
Kim Svapna Etat Uta Deva Maya Kim Svapna Etat Uta Deva Maya Kim Vamadyo Bata Buddhi Moha Kim Vamadyo Bata Buddhi Moha Ato Amusyeva Mamarbakasya
Ato Amusyeva Mamarbakasya
Yakashtanopika Atma Yoga
Kim Svapna Etat Uta Deva Maya
Kim Svapna Etat Uta Deva Maya
Vamadyo Bata Buddhi Moha
Kim Vamadyo Bata Buddhi Moha
Ato Amusyeva Mamarbakasya
Ato Amusyeva Mamarbakasya
Yakashchanoppatika Atma Yoga
Yakashchanotpatika Atma Yoga
Kim Svapna Etat Uta Deva Maya Kim Vamadyo Bata Buddhi Moha whether
Swapna, dream, Eta, all this, Bhuta, or otherwise, Devamaya, an illusory manifestation by the external energy.
An illusory manifestation by the external energy.
Or else, Madhya, my personal, Bhatta, indeed, Udimoha, of such, Eva, indeed, Mama Arbakasya, of my child, Ya, which, Kashana, some, out Patika, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Mother Yasoda began to argue within herself. Is this a dream, or is it an illusory creation by the external energy? Has this been manifested by my own intelligence, or is it some mystic power of my child? Purport. When Mother Yasoda saw this wonderful manifestation within the mouth of her child, she began to argue within herself about whether it was a dream. Then she considered, I'm not dreaming because my eyes are open. I'm actually seeing what is happening. I'm not sleeping, nor am I dreaming. Thus maybe this is an illusion created by Devamaya, but that is also not possible. What business would the demigods have showing such things to me? I'm an insignificant woman with no connection with the demigods. Why should they take the trouble to put me into Devamaya? That also is not possible. Then Mother Yasoda considered whether the vision might be due to bewilderment. I'm fit in health. I'm not diseased. Why should there be any bewilderment? It is not possible that my brain is deranged, since I'm ordinarily quite fit to think. Then this vision must be due to mystic power of my son, as predicted by Gargamuni. Thus she finally concluded that the vision was due to her son's activities and nothing else. Repeat the verse once again. Kim svapmaita uta devamaya, kim vamadyo batabuti moha, atto amushaiva mamarpakasya, yakashanat patika atma yoga. Mother Yasoda began to argue within herself, is this a dream, or is it an illusory creation by the external energy? Has this been manifested by my own intelligence, or is it some mystic power of my child? Om Majnana Timrandasya Jananjana Shanakaya Shakshur Unmilita. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Chirapachat Kanta Namastati Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Navanashvarim Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamaya Haripe Vancha Kalpta Vishya Kripa Sindhu Bhavisha Padnam Bhavan Bhyo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachaya Desatarane. Srila Prabhupada ki. Can someone give me a Bhagavad Gita in English, please? Can I get a Bhagavad Gita? Thank you. So we had Srila Prabhupada's commentary on this verse. And there is also a commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and a short one by Srila Jiva Goswami. And we'll read them, these also. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, she began to argue about the reason for her vision. Was it a dream? No, because my eyes are not filled with the contaminants of sleep. Was it some illusion created by the devatas? Why should the devatas delude an insignificant person like me? Was it some mental derangement? No, because my mind is stable now. Or is it some inconceivable power, Atma Yoga, of my son, since Garga Muni said that he would have qualities like Narayan? So we see that this purport of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is completely reflected in what Srila Prabhupada is writing. That's Guru Parampara. And Jiva Goswami. Was what I saw a dream, some illusion created by some devata? What calamity? Does he have some extraordinary power by birth? She had these doubts because of seeing so many astonishing things. So, these are the purports. Because we will first situate the verse that when Krishna came home, Mother Yasoda said, yes, your friends say that you have complained about you, that you have eaten dirt, that Krishna replied, I don't have eaten dirt. They are saying that because they lost the game today. And Mother Yasoda said, let me see, open your mouth. And then Krishna opened his mouth, and Mother Yasoda sees all this universe in his mouth. She thinks, yes, maybe I'm not well today. And then all this reasoning comes, which is explained in this verse, that she thinks, yes, maybe it's some illusion created by the demigods. But why should the demigods do that? I'm an insignificant person, that I've no business with these demigods. But maybe I'm dreaming. But no, I'm not dreaming. I see everything around me. I'm quite conscious of what's going on around me. And then she's thinking, yes, maybe it's the mystic power of Krishna, because Garga Muni, at the name-giving ceremony in the cow shed, he said, yes, he will have powers like Narayan. But we will see in the next verses. She will just think, oh, I have a bad day. She forgets about it and she embraces Krishna and forgets about this. So this is Goloka Vrindavan. This is the Mother Yasoda is representing the most intense and highest parental love for Krishna. And that love is the priority. So we have all a relationship with Krishna, which will be revealed if our heart becomes purified, not before. Before we know we are a servant of Krishna, but what servant we are will be revealed by Krishna when our heart is pure. It's not something you can try to attain, like we manage things in this world. I want to have this relationship or that relationship. No, it will appear. It will appear, this relationship. And when these relationships appear, it will all clear. We become attracted to a certain relationship with Krishna. But Mother Yasoda, of course, when that tendency comes up, your relationships start to become revealed with Krishna, then you can reinforce that by following the process of Raganuga Bhakti, but not before that. Of course, we know the story of the Gopi Baba Club. That's another story. But that's many times a problem in our movement. Prabhupada gave us nectar of devotion, but who reads it? If you read it, then you can understand the eligibility for starting Raganuga Bhakti. We should not do that premature, of course. But we have here, back to Mother Yasoda. Mother Yasoda, yes, her sthayi-bhava is this parental love. We have all a relationship in one of the 5 primary rasas with Krishna. And that will be revealed also later. That relationship, if the heart is pure, that will start to blossom. But these are constant relationships. So, Mother Yasoda, Krishna is my son. And that will never change. Even this, she sees all the universes in the mouth of Krishna, but there is no moment that she would think, Krishna is not my son. He may be God, okay, that's fine, but he's my son. That's priority number 1. And that cannot be broken. That's called sthayi-bhava, our permanent relationship with Krishna. But then the other relations, these are the 5 primary rasas, but you have secondary rasas. And they come and go. So here she sees this universe, all these universes in the mouth of Krishna. And she sees not only all the universes, she sees all that exists. And there she sees the earth, and she sees Goloka Vrindavan, and she sees herself looking in the mouth of Krishna. It's without limit. Yes, she has different emotions here, wonder, how can it be that maybe has mystic power? But it's coming and going. It's not staying, that these secondary races. But she never stopped thinking, Krishna is my son, and I will try, if I get the possibility here, that because I have here this is from an excerpt of Ananda smiled blissfully while looking at Krishna with love-laden glances. The gopis always play with Krishna and enjoy love sports in the forest of Vrindavan. While gazing upon him, they looked like thirsty chakori birds, continually drinking the ambrosial radiance of his moon-like face. With the unblinking eyes, they took Krishna within their hearts and lovingly embraced him. During the festival of Govardhan, of lifting Govardhan Hill, everyone tasted the greatest ecstasy. To lighten the heart of his beloved friend Krishna, Bahu said, that's Madhumangal, Bahu, "O dearest friend of the whole world, please listen to my words. By my Brahman Tejas spiritual potency, I will fill you with happiness. When I'm here as your friend, why are you troubling yourself lifting Giriraj? O lotus-eyed one, just order me and I will hold up this great mountain on the tip of my golden stick. You must be exhausting from holding the hill, so now relax and take some rest while I hold the hill." Vrajeshwari Yasoda, so that's Mother Yasoda, addressed her son. And Yasoda says, "Oh, my darling child, you always act impudently due to the force of your uncontrolled senses." So she says, Krishna, yeah, but it comes all from your uncontrolled senses. That for years we lived peacefully, observed the Indra Jahya, but then you abruptly stopped it. Disregarding the demigods never brings auspiciousness. How can one find fortune if it shows enmity toward the demons of the demigods? In the presence of these two fears, how can we enjoy living here? Let's see. Although Krishna's body is inexhaustible, ever blissful, Yasoda thought that he had overworked himself. Considering that, she expressed her motherly affection by reaching up to lovingly touch his lotus hand that held the hill. While doing this, she said, "Aho, how can your hand, which is as pure and soft as fresh butter, bear the heavy weight of this mountain without any other help or support? O Giriraj, please be compassionate and give me a boon. If you are actually some worshipable God, then do something to become soft and lightweight so that Krishna will not feel any distress. O honorable one, all my son's actions are in accordance with the instructions of Shastra and saintly persons." Bahu said, Mother Mangal, "Mother, do not speak like this. How can you say Krishna is in distress? Listen, what good has that angry Indra done for us? He brutally stacked us with his dense dark clouds and fierce lightning bolts. Now just appreciate the dazzling sweetness that Krishna has manifested in his pastime of lifting Giri Govardhan. Has Indra not become angry? Then we would not have the chance to relish this nectar with our eyes. Mother Yasoda replied to Batu, "O bold one, holding a heavy load over the head can never be a show of sweetness. Lifting the enormous weight of Dhiraj will cause one to become distressed and disabled. Just see, the locks of curly hair on Krishna's forehead are wet from perspiration. His face is dried out and become pale like a lotus wilted by the snow. His hands and feet have a ruddy color. How can a mother's heart, O Shiva, tolerate such hardship?" Krishna said, "Mother, there cannot be anything more fun than this. Why are you worried about me for nothing? Just see, the great mountain of Govardhan is floating on its own in the open sky. I told you before that this body of mine is but an instrument of his will." Yasoda replied, "My dear son, that may be true, but how can you not be tired after standing here so long and holding up the mountain with your raised arm? O intelligent one, I will believe what you said if Govardhan gives up the joyful association of your lotus hand, and then flies around in the sky playing on his own." Batu said, "O Queen of Vrindavan, don't you know that this great mountain is sitting on the lotus hand of Krishna by the strength of my mantras and special powers? Therefore my friend is not feeling any pain from holding Giriraj. That is natural, because everyone is favorably disposed toward the Lord of their heart." Yasoda said, "O impudent one, what kind of nonsense are you speaking? I am burning in anxiety over my son, his tendency to act independently without caring for any good instruction. And now you come here, make jokes and laugh about it?" Nanda Maharaj interjected, "Why are you scolding Batu? In this world, a person who is expert in diplomacy will use very affectionate words to encourage one in such a trying situation." So understanding the need of the time, Batu spoke appropriately. Besides that, our dear son very much appreciates the words of Batu. Anyway, it continues like that. It gives an idea of Mother Yasoda's sthayi-bhava. She will never give up being the mother of Krishna. So this is, of course, we can go to the nectar of devotion. There, this is clarified. I think I have it here somewhere. Yes. So Mother Yasoda addressed one of her friends. "Nanda Maharaj and I worship Lord Vishnu, and as a result of this worship, Krishna has been saved from the clutches of Putana and other demons. The twin Arjuna trees, of course, broken due to a strong wind, and although Krishna appeared to have lifted Govardhan hill along with Balaram, I think that Nanda Maharaj actually held the mountain." So says, it was Nanda Maharaj who held the mountain. "Otherwise, how could it be possible for a little boy to lift such a great hill?" So that is another example of ecstasy in parental love. So this kind of parental love is generated in a devotee out of his own conviction in love that he himself is superior to Krishna, and that without being taken care of by such a devotee, Krishna could not possibly live. One devotee therefore prayed to the parents of Lord Krishna as follows: "Let me take shelter of the elderly parental devotees of Lord Krishna. They are always anxious to serve Krishna and to maintain him, and they are always so kind to him." There is also the story in Krishna book further, when one morning Nanda Maharaj is going to take, it was the day after Ekadashi Dvadasi, that Ekadashi fasting the whole day, and then the next day taking an early bath. But Nanda Maharaj took bath in Yamuna, but it was earlier than prescribed in the scriptures. It was still dark, and so he dove in the river, but then one of the servants of Varuna, because they to punish the offenders who do not take bath at the right moment, they take them before Varuna. So one of these servants took Nanda Maharaj and brought him down to the residence of Varuna, where it is, I don't know exactly, but but Nanda Maharaj disappeared under the water, and all the residents of Vrindavan were in great ecstasy, in great anxiety. But Nanda Maharaj disappeared, and they called out for Krishna, Krishna, help. And then Krishna finally came, and he dove into the water. Of course, he knew where his father was, and he went. Nanda Maharaj was brought before Varuna, and then Krishna arrived there. And then there Krishna was immediately, Varuna organized a puja and was offering respect to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Nanda Maharaj saw all of this. But then he said, yes, okay, that's Nanda Maharaj thought, yeah, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But then Varuna offered his apologies for his servant taking Nanda Maharaj, that should not have done that, and so on. And then Krishna came with Nanda Maharaj again out of the Yamuna. And Nanda Maharaj told all the Vrajavasis all what he saw. I said, Krishna must be God, he must be the... And all the Vrajavasis said, yes, Krishna is God, is good, Krishna is God. And they talked for it about 3 days, and after 3 days, they forgot about it. Krishna is just one of us. So, what to do? There's parental love, there's sthayi-bhava, that is much more to say about this parental love. We know that Devaki and Vasudeva, they feel also parental love for Krishna. But at the solar eclipse of Kurukshetra, there the Vrajavasis and the residents of Dwarka, they met each other. That interesting. That and then at that time, the sages were asked to speak. It's a whole chapter in the Krishna book. The sages were speaking, and the sages, they address Vasudeva, and they all glorify His Son as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then after that, Krishna addresses them, the sages. But Vasudeva and Devaki, they are somewhat affected by it. Their prema goes a little down. And their prema is affected by it. But not to the point that their parental love disappears, no. But the parental love of Nanda Maharaj and Yasoda is a little different, that parental love. When Uddhav was sent to Vrindavan by Krishna, who was at that time in Mathura. So in Mathura, Krishna could not leave Mathura because Jarasandha and other demons were expected to attack Mathura, but he had promised to the residents of Vrindavan, I will come back. But Krishna could not, and therefore he sent Uddhav, his most confidential servitor, with a message and letters for many devotees and for the gopis and gopas and for his parents, messages. And when Uddhav arrived in Vrindavan, he met Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj. And they looked like unhappy that Mother Yasoda had her eyes closed and tears came from her eyes. And Nanda Maharaj was looking down. That's because of their feelings of separation of Krishna. And Uddhav says, there is a verse in the Bhagavatam that says, I'm very happy to see you in that condition. Interesting. He sees they are suffering and he says he's happy. Is he a masochist or something? No. He knew that these feelings of separation are the highest bliss. And the highest bliss is that it's difficult to understand for us. That if we feel separation from someone in this world is based on material attachment, it's suffering. But there it's the highest bliss. But Uddhav had the idea, let me try to bring their prema down then they will act more normally. So it tried to bring their love, the intensity of their love down. And he started to preach to them. He said, you think Krishna is your son, but he's factually the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the super soul in everyone's heart. And at that time, Nanda Maharaj said that Uddhav, you are much younger than me, and I forgive you. I forgive your ignorance. You know, yes, I know Garga Muni has said he has qualities like Narayan, but he's not Narayan. Narayan is Satya Sankalpa. Narayan is always truthful. But my Krishna, he constantly speaks lies. How can he be Narayan? And if we don't feed him in time, then he becomes angry. So how can he be Narayan? I know what's Narayan. We are also worship the Salagram Shila, Lord Vishnu. Yes. So that is. So this prema could not be brought down. So this is this parental love. This parental love, there it's mentioned in Nectar of Devotion. I think I have it here. It's a little further here. That because the one with the most with the most parental love is Mother Yasoda. And who's the second one after Mother Yasoda? It's Nanda Maharaj, and the third one is Rohini. That's here. That's mentioned in Nectar of Devotion here. I found this list very interesting. Here it is. And the fourth one are the elderly gopis, whose sons were taken away by Lord Brahma. That's during that year that the sons, that year that Lord Brahma took away all the cowboys and he replaced them by, Krishna replaced all the cowboys by expansions of himself. And then these expansions looked right the same as the originals. Characters, everything the same. So, and they went back home in the evening to Vrindavan, and all these mothers saw their sons coming, but they started to feel much more love for their sons than before, because it was Krishna. So they had for 1 year Krishna as their son, and they are on the 4th place here. And then comes Devaki, the wife of Vasudeva. Then the other 15 wives of Vasudeva, and then Kunti Devi, and then Vasudeva is number 8, and then 9 is Sandipana Muni, teacher, of Krishna. They are all parental love. But, of course, Vasudev and Devaki, they have also parental love for Krishna. But Prabhupada makes it very clear in his books that Krishna is only one set of parents. That's Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj. These are the original parents of Krishna. So the post is already taken. So how can Devaki and Vasudev be then the parents of Krishna also? That the original is Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda, and Devaki and Vasudev are Vaikuntha expansions of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yasoda. They are Vaikuntha expansions. And therefore their mood is different. In Vaikuntha, everyone knows Krishna is God. But still they have parental love for him. In Goloka Vrindavan, we are not concerned with it. It may be God or not. But it's our friend that is our lover, that is our son, because Krishna wants our love and wants this more intense love. He's more pleased with our intense love. So this highest love is Braja Bhakti, a special love. And that Braja Bhakti was brought to us by Lord Chaitanya and was never given before. And it's so special, this Braja Bhakti, that in the 11th canto of the Uddhav Gita, Krishna speaks to Uddhav, and he lists symptoms of liberation, symptoms of conditioned souls. And then he explains how to go from the conditioned state to the platform of liberation. But then he speaks about Braja Bhakti again, and how to attain Braja Bhakti. That one must take shelter of a pure devotee to attain this Braja Bhakti. So this is parental love. Another subject matter in this verse is the illusion. That in Bhagavad Gita, in the 15th chapter is called, who knows the title? Purushottam Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because this yoga is summarized at the end of this chapter in the Trisloka Gita. 3 verses summarizing the entire Vedanta. And in the first verse, I'm not going to read the Sanskrit, but in the first verse Krishna says, there are the fallible souls and the infallible souls. Infallible souls, they are residents of the spiritual world. The fallible souls is us here. And he says, yes, they are. And then in the next verse says, but I'm above the fallible and the infallible, and I'm controlling the infallible and the fallible by my energies. We are under the control of the material energy, the fallible, and the infallible are under control of the spiritual energy. So what we can learn here, whether we are in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha of Golok, or we are here, we are still under control of Krishna, but under a different energy. Of course, if you are under control of the spiritual energy, we can completely use our free will. That in the material world, we are conditioned by these three modes, and you have to follow the modes unless you become a pure devotee, become out of that control. Then we can become controlled by the spiritual energy. So we are always controlled. But Krishna is controlled by the love of the Vrajavasis. That he's controlled by the pure love of his devotees. So this is shown in this verse. In the next verses, of course, for a moment, Mother Yasoda she sees all this opulence and so, but then Krishna afraid that that's going to affect our motherly love, and then stops it, and she comes again full under this yoga maya. So we are under control of Krishna, always, either the material energy or the spiritual energy. We are always under control of Krishna. But it's up to us to take shelter of the material energy or the spiritual energy. And when we take shelter of the spiritual energy, it's called the Mahatma. Krishna says, Mahatma Nam Tumam Parta Devim Prakatyashvita. And how does one take shelter of the spiritual energy? Satatam Kirtyantamam Yatanta Sadritavata. Always chanting the glories of Krishna, hearing about Krishna, hearing the Bhagavatam, and chanting is a good combination. And a required combination. Only chanting and not hearing the Bhagavatam will not help one much, because one will not be able to overcome the offenses. Offenses we can overcome by spiritual culture, and that spiritual culture and inner attitude to attain this is infused in our heart by hearing the Bhagavatam. Good, I will stop here. Any comment, question, please? Yes? A comment.
Nice analysis, very wonderful description. I'm just curious, what was Krishna's purpose in performing this Leela to show his divine powers? Of course, he did it in the Govardhan Leela, but especially showing the universes in his mouth like that. Was there a special, because it wasn't for the benefit of Mother Yasoda.
Yeah. So what was Krishna's purpose in showing this universal form?
To just give another glimpse of
Yeah.
his God.
When
at any moment you can show that or not?
when Krishna showed also his universal form, a different one, but to Duryodhana. And when Duryodhana saw it, he was not impressed. He said, yeah, Krishna may have some mystic powers, but anyway, we will finish him sooner or later.
He's so obsessed with
being
Krishna's enemy, he didn't care about his other powers.
Yeah, but why did Krishna show it to Duryodhana? Yeah, he wanted to bring him to his senses, but due to the ignorance and passion, it was not possible. And here, for Mother Yasoda, Krishna, I cannot speak for Krishna. I don't know his purpose, but we can know something through the acharyas who have the eyes to see and to understand his pastimes. But anyway, certainly not like Duryodhana. Duryodhana was not impressed. And Mother Yasoda was thinking she was mentally deranged. But of course, these pastimes, it's not just there in the relationship with Mother Yasoda. Krishna is showing it to us so that we can understand what this Vraja Bhakti means. That even that if Krishna shows his opulence to the Vrajavasis, it has not much effect.
The prema is more powerful than that.
Yeah, the prema is more. Ashraya, So by that, Krishna is teaching us what real love is. And that's so beautiful. It may have other purposes, but this may be one of them. Good. Thank you. Okay. Who first?
Thank you, Maharaj, for the elaborate explanation with reference. So, you mentioned that Vraja Bhakti was Mahaprabhu's contribution, but also, of course, it is exposed in the Bhagavatam. It's explained in the Bhagavatam, and it's glorified also. So there must have been a teacher also explaining about this. So would you like to comment on that?
Well, this.
I don't know if everybody heard it.
So I repeat that. So this Vraja Bhakti was there before the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, because it's described in the Bhagavatam that's true, but it was never been manifested. It was never been manifested before in terms of worship and so on. It started to become apparent gradually, and the first one in the mood of the Vrajavasis, this love for the Vrajavasis, was Madhavendra Puri. And then, of course, then Ishvara Puri, and then Lord Chaitanya. So it came already before Lord Chaitanya, the mood. But then, because in Navadvipa at that time, I'm just reading Chaitanya Bhagavat again, and there it said, many were preaching the Bhagavatam in an impersonal way, and that not understanding real the essence. But then Lord Chaitanya has doubted also the Rupa Goswami's followers the real meaning of the Bhagavatam, because we have the first who commented really on the Bhagavatam deeply was Sridhar Swami. And Sridhar Swami goes in that direction, but really the inner meaning of the Bhagavatam was presented by Lord Chaitanya and his followers. And then it became clear that when then we have momentum Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He makes that very clear in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, verse 4. Anachpita charim chirat karunaya vartina kala samachpaitim unachval rasham svabhaktim shriyam aripurati sundra dyuti kadampa sandipitam sadaridaya kandris puratva satchinandana. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Shrimati Satchi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, the mood of Srimati Radharani. He has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation ever offered before, the sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love, especially conjugal love, as never given before. And there are 2 chapters further in this Adi Lila which explains that. And in one, I think it's chapter 4, and there you have Krishnadas Kaviraj explaining the difference between lust and love, and an entire chapter just explaining that this real love is the love of the Vrajavasis. And this is the mood of our Sampradaya. I asked Bhakti Charamaj what's the mood of our Sampradaya. He said, what's the mood? Of course, in our tradition, like Murari Gupta was one of the associates of Lord Chaitanya. And he was a Ram Bhakta. He was always chanting names of Ram, and Lord Chaitanya that you should chant Hare Krishna, instructed them. And then Murari Gupta tried the whole night, but then the next morning he said to Lord Chaitanya, I cannot do it. I'm so attached to Ram, I cannot chant this Hare Krishna, and I chant Ram, 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 Ram. And Lord Chaitanya said, yes, you are Hanuman. He could not. Yes, he had this mood. But so in our tradition, you have all these rasas, but there is one mood which is most prevalent in our sampradaya through our Guru Parampara, and that's the mood of the Manjaris, Rupa Manjari, that all these associates, close associates of Lord Chaitanya, were practically all Manjaris or Gopis in Goloka Vrindavan. So that's the most, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Kamala Manjari, also Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, that's all of them practically. And that's the highest, most intense love. That's what I could say on that. Good.
That Manjari Bhava is a servant of the servant of the servant. That's how you can cultivate that.
Yeah, that's another thing. How to cultivate Vraja Bhakti. Yeah.
You can't prevent it being Manjari.
No. That let's first purify ourselves, and then in one lifetime that will maybe manifest. It's not happening overnight, these things. It's not a subject matter we should discuss daily. We should discuss daily how to purify our heart and enter into anartha nivritti, entering into it. That's chanting Namabhas. It's a high platform for us already. Good. I will stop here. But thank you very much. Yes?
Here's a short question. Is somebody unwillingly gets a chance to associate with a pure devotee? Is there any benefit? Of course.
If one unwillingly...
He's not interested, but somehow or other he gets an opportunity to meet a saintly person.
Yeah, that...
Doing it. We're hearing from Prabhupada. We're associating with Prabhupada.
Yeah, sure. But you have the example of Haridas Thakur and this prostitute who wanted him to fall down. And she listened 3 days to his chanting, and she became a pure devotee also. But of course, it's important for us to associate with Prabhupada. Put Prabhupada in the center. He's a pure devotee. He's on the level of Haridas. That's no problem. We associate with Prabhupada and follow his instruction and make him the center of our life. Then we will become purified. Thank you very much. Shantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.